Hi, I'm Irene from Castle.
And I'm Mark from AskTheHairGuy.com and Mark's at the Point Salon and Boutique right here in Vero Beach, Florida. You know, Castle provides tools and education for parents that are, well, striving to be better parents. And let's face it, who doesn't want to be a better parent?
Thank you, Mark. We are deeply grateful for your support, and Castle is so honored to be here to have a chance to talk about who we are. You know, our mission is to provide education and support and to be there for parents to help stop child abuse and neglect. We are the parenting professionals. You know, one of the things we get questions from parents about things such as what is age-appropriate makeup and hair, and who better to ask than Mark the Hair Guy?
Sure. And you know, Castle and Mark's at the Point Salon and Boutique, we applaud all parents, whether it be here in our area or abroad watching this video, anyone who's striving to be a better parent. And let's face it, who doesn't want to be a better parent? This video is for you.
Hi, this is Kate Demsick with Ask the Hair Guy. We're filming this video for Castle. Today I'm going to be showing you just some very basic makeup application tricks, tips and tricks on Mariah here. She was very young, clearly, so we don't want to do a lot on her. We're just going to be talking about a few different things. If maybe you have a daughter who's interested in makeup and you've never played around with it before, these are just some very simple things. We're going to talk about blush, we're going to talk about a little bit of eyeshadow. I've got some lip gloss and some chapsticks, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about brushes and just general skincare, how to take care of your skin, and how to dress up a little bit for school or maybe a school dance or something like that. The first thing I want to talk to you about is skincare. Skincare is very important, whether or not you're going to be wearing makeup. Young girls, you should be washing your faces. You can use mild, an actual face wash. You can get that from pretty much any store. You can use a mild soap that usually tends to be a little bit drying, so I'd be careful. I would use an actual face wash, and everybody has different skin types. You can look that kind of stuff up on the internet. You can talk to different people. There's various skin types, so you want to get a face wash that matches you. If you have oily skin or dry skin, that's going to be really important for taking care of your skin before and after you put makeup on. The next thing is, if you are going to be wearing makeup, you really want to wash that off of your face before you go to sleep. Please don't ever sleep in your makeup. It's not good for your pores. It's not good for your skin. You wake up looking crazy the next day. You really want to get all of that stuff off of your face before you go to sleep. So those are two very important things. The next thing we're going to talk about is just a few simple brushes. A lot of stores have pre-packaged brush sets that just have a few things in them because you really don't need a lot. The first thing are eyeshadow brushes. They come in different shapes and sizes. I usually recommend just something nice and fluffy. You want them to be soft because you're putting them on a very sensitive part of your face, and you probably don't need to do too many crazy things with your eyeshadow, just a simple color, so one brush is going to do the trick. The next thing is a blush brush. Again, you're not going to be wearing too much, so you just want to do something really basic. You just need a little fluffy brush to put on your cheeks just for a little bit of color. Some of the basic things that you are going to be working with include a couple different palettes. You can get eyeshadow separately, of course, but there are some really fun eyeshadow palettes that you can get at various places. I would just do some neutral colors to start. Don't get crazy with blues and greens. I know those are fun colors, but you just want to keep it really simple. The next thing is blush. I have a blush palette here. Again, you can just get one color. You don't have to get a whole palette like this. There's some really fun colors in here, but again, you probably want to stay just a little bit more neutral than that. You don't want to look like a clown. And then lastly, there are chapstick, very nice, and lip gloss. Again, I wouldn't do anything too bold or too crazy. You want to just make yourself still look natural, but just a little bit more enhanced. You don't need to be adding a whole bunch of color to your face. So these are going to be really nice ways to just dress up your look without going overboard. Okay, so I know we live in the world of Instagram where makeup has become more and more advanced and intricate, but when you are working with somebody so young, you really want to keep everything simple. Mariah's skin here is so perfect. We're not going to cover it up with foundations or concealer. We're just going to go straight in with a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm going to pick something very subtle. She's got this really pretty olivey skin. I kind of want to just accentuate that. I'll probably play around with these colors here, just something very, very neutral. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to apply just a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm going to stick with some very light neutral colors. You don't want to do anything too crazy or bold, and you really, less is more. So when you're starting off, start with a light color because you can add to it. Go ahead and close your eyes here. You can add more color later if you feel like it's too light. It's a lot easier to do that, whereas if you start with a very dark color, it'd be a lot harder to take off. You're going to have to start over. So this eyeshadow just has a tiny little bit of shimmer. It's kind of a nice bronzy color. It's going to look really pretty with her eyes and her skin tone. I'm going to take it all the way up to her crease. I'll probably blend it out a little bit with my fingers. Because you want it to be very, very soft. You don't want any harsh lines. And you want to be very, very gentle. Because again, you're working with your eyes. And your eyes are very, very sensitive. So don't do anything. Don't put too much pressure. I'm going to have this spray look all the way up to the ceiling. Open your eyes and look up. Good. We're just going to put a little bit, just a tiny little bit underneath her eyes, just like a little bit of eyeliner. Very good. You did great. And then speaking of eyeliners and mascaras, you can do just a little bit if you want to create just a little bit more definition, but I don't recommend using blacks. I would recommend something like a dark brown or a charcoal, something that's not going to be too harsh. Next we're going to add just a little bit of blush. I know this looks really pink, but it goes on pretty subtle, and you really want to be very careful when you're applying blush not to apply too much, because again, you can go back through and you can put on a little bit more. But you're going to concentrate it on just the apples of your cheeks. It's just going to make you look more awake, more alive. If you're pale like me, you're really going to need that. But again, you want to be very careful not to put too much on, because you can pretty easily look overdone with your blush. And the last thing we're going to do is just a tiny little bit of lip gloss. This really doesn't have much color to it. It just has a few sparkles in it. It's going to make her lips shine without really adding any color to them. So go ahead and open slightly. What I do recommend is if you're going to do something bolder, if you're going to play around with color, really focus it on one area. So if you're going to do a bold color, you could put it on your eyes and then do a very neutral or nothing on your lip. If you want to play around with lip color, you can do something a little bit bolder and brighter, but then stay very, very neutral and light on your eyes. You want to kind of pick one or the other. And then if you're going somewhere fancy, like a dance, you could play around with that mascara and eyeliner we talked about. But that's basically it. She's just got a little bit more color to her face. She's got a little bit more shine and shimmer, but she still looks like a little girl, and that's the important thing. We don't want to make her look like a woman, because she's not a woman yet. She's very young, and she's very pretty, youthful skin, and we don't want to cover it up. So this is just going to be enough to make her feel pretty and have a little bit of fun. This is Kate Demsick with Ask the Hair Guy, filming very basic makeup tutorial for Castle.